In February 1948, the location was eerily close to the same area where Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 was last detected on radar in 2014, the Strait of Malacca, a narrow stretch of water between Malaysia and Indonesia. Every day, thousands of cargo ships pass through these waters, making it one of the busiest shipping routes on Earth. That day, however, everything seemed perfectly normal. The sea was calm, the sky was clear, there were no storms, no rough waves, and nothing unusual in the weather. Several American and British merchant ships were peacefully sailing through the strait, following their normal route. Then, without warning, multiple ships picked up a strange radio transmission. The signal wasn't a voice message, it was Morse code. Back then, Morse code was one of the most reliable ways to communicate over long distances. Unlike voice transmissions, which could be distorted by weather, humidity, fog, or radio interference, Morse code could travel thousands of miles with remarkable accuracy. The transmission began with a pattern every radio operator instantly recognized: 3 dots, 3 dashes, 3 dots, SOS. Then it repeated, SOS, SOS. After the distress signal came a longer sequence of dots and dashes. When operators decoded the message, they were stunned. It read, SOS, SOS. This is the steamship SS Ourang Medan. All ships with shortwave wireless. Please contact a doctor immediately. No one knew what had happened aboard the ship, but something was terribly wrong. Before anyone had time to respond, a second message arrived. This one was even more horrifying. The second officer is dead. Most of the crew are dead. Medical assistance is no longer possible. SOS, we need immediate help. Every ship monitoring the frequency fell silent. Then, moments later, the SS Ourang Medan transmitted its exact coordinates. A final message followed. It was incomplete. Only 2 chilling words were successfully received. I die. And then, silence. No more signals. No more Morse code. No more responses. Radio operators aboard nearby ships immediately tried to contact the vessel again and again, but there was nothing except the endless static of the open sea. Everyone listening realized one terrifying truth. Something unimaginable had happened aboard the SS Ourang Medan. The nearest ship changed course immediately, but when its crew finally reached the SS Ourang Medan, what they found on board became one of the greatest maritime mysteries in history. The closest vessel to the distress signal was an American merchant ship called the Silver Star. As soon as its captain received the SOS message, he made a decision that would change the lives of everyone on board. He ordered the ship to change course immediately and head toward the last known position of the SS Ourang Medan. At first, everyone assumed they were responding to a shipwreck, a fire, or perhaps a pirate attack. No one was prepared for what they were about to witness. After several hours at sea, the Silver Star finally reached the coordinates. Through binoculars, the crew spotted a large steamship drifting quietly on the ocean. It was the SS Ourang Medan, but something felt terribly wrong. The ship appeared completely intact. There were no signs of damage, no visible holes, no flooding, no smoke rising from its funnel. It simply floated motionless on the calm water, as if time itself had stopped. There wasn't a single person visible on deck. No crew members, no movement, no voices. The captain repeatedly called the ship over the loudspeaker. He sounded the horn several times. Still, nothing. Only the sound of waves crashing against the hull echoed across the sea. Realizing something was seriously wrong, the captain assembled a rescue team and ordered them to board the mysterious vessel. As they climbed onto the deck, an icy silence surrounded them. The atmosphere felt unnaturally cold. Every step echoed across the empty ship. Then, one of the rescuers froze. Lying on the deck was the first body. The man's face was twisted in absolute terror. His eyes were wide open. His mouth was frozen in a silent scream. His arms were stretched out in front of him, as if he had been desperately trying to push something away in the final seconds of his life. The rescue team looked at each other in disbelief. They had never seen anything like it, and this was only the beginning. As the team searched deeper into the ship, they realized the first body wasn't the only victim. Every single person on board was dead, and every face wore the exact same expression of unimaginable fear. The rescue team continued moving deeper into the ship. With every step, the silence became more disturbing. Then they discovered another body, and another. Soon, they realized the nightmare wasn't limited to a single crew member. Everyone on board was dead. Bodies were scattered across the deck, inside the hallways, and throughout the bridge. The captain was still standing near the ship's controls. The officers were found exactly where they had been performing their duties. It looked as though death had struck every single person at the exact same moment. Even the ship's dog was dead. Its body was stiff. Its teeth were exposed. Its mouth hung open in what looked like a final growl, as if it had been staring at something terrifying just before it died. But the most disturbing detail was this: not a single body showed any signs of injury. There were no bullet wounds, no knife wounds, no burns, no broken bones, no evidence of a fight. Nothing appeared out of place. Yet every victim wore the exact same expression: pure, unimaginable terror. The rescue team carefully searched every room until they reached the radio room. There they found the radio operator. He was slumped over his Morse code key. His fingers were still resting on the transmitter, exactly where they had been when he sent the ship's final message: I die. At that moment, the rescuers realized realized one thing for certain. Whatever had happened aboard the SS Ourang Medan had killed the entire crew without leaving a single visible wound. It was unlike anything they had ever encountered. Unsure of what they were dealing with, the captain of the Silver Star decided there was only one option left. The mysterious ship had to be towed back to port for a full investigation. Heavy ropes were attached to the SS Ourang Medan, but just as the operation began, something unexpected happened. Thin streams of smoke suddenly started rising from one of the cargo holds deep inside the ship. Within seconds, the smoke turned into flames, and the fire spread with terrifying speed. The rescue team had only seconds to escape, because what happened next erased almost every piece of evidence forever. The moment the flames erupted from the cargo hold, the rescue team knew they had no time to lose. The fire spread through the ship at an unbelievable speed. Within moments, thick black smoke covered the deck. The captain immediately ordered everyone to abandon the vessel. The rescuers rushed back into their small boats and paddled as fast as they could toward the Silver Star. Just as the last crew member climbed aboard, a massive explosion ripped through the SS Ourang Medan. The blast shook the sea. Metal fragments were hurled high into the air, and burning debris rained across the water. The mysterious steamship split apart before everyone's eyes. Then, slowly, the SS Ourang Medan disappeared beneath the waves. In just a few minutes, it was gone forever. Along with it vanished every body, every clue, and every answer. Nothing remained except the eyewitness accounts of the Silver Star's crew, with no wreckage to investigate, and no physical evidence left behind. Many people dismissed the entire incident as nothing more than a maritime legend. Others believed something far more sinister had happened. As researchers began digging into the story, they uncovered another mystery. According to official shipping records, there was no registered vessel named SS Ourang Medan. Its name didn't appear in international maritime databases. It was as if the ship had never existed at all, but not everyone agreed. Some historians argued that this happened shortly after World War II, when many ships sailed under false identities or operated without official registration. If the SS Ourang Medan had been involved in a secret or illegal mission, that could explain why no official records existed. Instead of solving the mystery, the missing records only made it even more terrifying. Years later, secret documents, CIA files, and shocking theories would emerge, suggesting that the crew may not have died from fear alone, but from something far more dangerous hidden inside the ship. Years passed, but the mystery refused to disappear. In 1954, Dutch newspapers published detailed articles about the strange fate of the SS Ourang Medan. The reports included interviews with people who claimed to have known the ship, and even former crew members. According to these accounts, the vessel was allegedly involved in illegal smuggling operations. If that were true, it would explain why no official registration records could be found, but investigators still couldn't identify the ship's true owner. The trail simply went cold. Then, decades later, another surprising development brought the story back to life. In 2003, the CIA declassified a number of old documents. Among them was a letter related to the mystery of the SS Ourang Medan. The letter, dated May 29, 1958, described the entire incident and suggested that solving the tragedy of the SS Ourang Medan might also help explain other mysterious disappearances of ships and aircraft in the region. Although the document fueled public interest, it did not confirm that the events had actually happened or verify any specific theory. It simply showed that the story had reached intelligence agencies and remained a topic of discussion. So what really happened? One of the most widely discussed explanations is the chemical leak theory. After World War II, dangerous chemicals and military materials were being transported across Asia. Some researchers have suggested that the SS Ourang Medan may have been carrying hazardous cargo in secret. If toxic gases had leaked inside the ship, the crew could have been overcome within minutes, leaving no visible injuries on their bodies. Another possibility involves unstable explosives. A fire or chemical reaction inside the cargo hold could explain why the ship suddenly erupted in flames before exploding and sinking. Even today, no single explanation has been proven. The SS Ourang Medan remains one of history's greatest maritime mysteries. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere beneath the waters of the Strait of Malacca, waiting to be discovered. Do you think the crew died because of a deadly chemical leak, or was something far more mysterious hiding aboard the SS Ourang Medan? Let me know your theory in the comments, because sometimes the ocean keeps its darkest secrets forever.